The future of Martin Ødegaard, a potential exit from Arsenal. In the world of football, transfer rumors are as common as the sound of a referee's whistle. They ebb and flow like the tides, with players often finding themselves at the center of speculation fueled by performance, contract situations, and club ambitions. At the heart of the current discourse is Arsenal's captain, Martin Ødegaard. The Norwegian midfielder, who has been a pivotal part of Mikel Arteta's project at the Emirates, now finds himself pondering a potential departure from North London. This article delves into Ødegaard's journey, his impact on Arsenal, the implications of a possible transfer, and the clubs interested in his services. The rise of Martin Ødegaard. Martin Ødegaard arrived at Arsenal in January 2021 on loan from Real Madrid. A product of Norway's youth system, he was initially hailed as a wonder kid, having made his professional debut at just 15 years old. His early career was marked by rapid ascendance, yet it was at Arsenal that he began to flourish consistently. Mikel Arteta recognized Ødegaard's unique skill set, integrating him into a squad eager for leadership and creativity. When Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette departed, the mantle fell on Ødegaard's shoulders. He was named the club captain in 2022, a role that highlighted not only his on-field prowess, but also his growing influence in the dressing room. A challenging season. This season, however, has presented its challenges for Ødegaard. After an impressive campaign that saw him shine brightly, his form has dipped, resulting in criticism from fans and pundits alike. The once dominant playmaker has been scrutinized for his inconsistent performances, raising questions about his role in Arteta's vision. Arsenal supporters, known for their passionate and vocal presence, have begun calling for fresh talent in the central attacking midfield position. Eberechi Eze and Ethan Nwaneri, two young prospects, have emerged as potential candidates to fill Ødegaard's shoes should he be marginalized in the upcoming matches. The prospect of heightened competition for his position could be enough to push the Norwegian towards considering his options. A transfer on the horizon? Rumors have emerged suggesting that Ødegaard is contemplating a fresh challenge away from the Emirates. Clubs like Bayern Munich and Inter Milan are closely monitoring the situation, aware of their talents and the potential impact he could have in their respective leagues. Both teams boast rich histories and are perennial contenders for domestic and European honors. The allure of playing for such illustrious clubs could tempt Ødegaard to make a move if he feels his time at Arsenal is becoming stale. Arsenal's position. Despite Ødegaard's wavering form, Mikel Arteta remains unwilling to part ways with his captain. The manager has often referred to Ødegaard's contributions as phenomenal, asserting that he plays a vital role in orchestrating Arsenal's attack. However, football is a results-driven business, and should the situation remain stagnant, Arteta may have to reevaluate his stance. Arsenal has reportedly set an asking price of at least £80 million for Ødegaard, which would mark a club record sale. The valuation reflects not just his talent, but the potential market demand should he decide to leave. This hefty price tag could serve as both a deterrent and an incentive for potential suitors. Ødegaard's contract situation. In context, Ødegaard is contracted until 2028, providing Arsenal with a strong negotiating position. If the player expresses a genuine desire to leave, it could lead to a showdown between the club's long-term strategy and the player's immediate aspirations. A transfer request may follow if the situation becomes untenable, but until that point, Arsenal holds a significant advantage. What lies ahead for Ødegaard? As Ødegaard contemplates his future, several factors will undoubtedly influence his decision. These include personal ambitions. Ødegaard has always been driven by the desire to compete at the highest level. If he believes that a move to a club like Bayern Munich or Inter Milan offers him better prospects for achieving individual and team success, it could sway his decision. Fan sentiment. Footballers thrive on the support of their fans. Should Ødegaard continue to face backlash for his performances, he may feel the need for a fresh start in a different environment where he can rebuild his confidence. Club dynamics. The relationship between Ødegaard and Arteta could also play a pivotal role. If the management team expresses faith in him during difficult times, it could encourage him to remain and fight for his place. Conversely, if he feels sidelined in favor of younger players, the scales could tip towards a transfer. The prospects of possible destinations. Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich represents not just a lucrative move, but a chance to compete in one of the top leagues in Europe. Known for their relentless pursuit of success, joining the Bundesliga giants could reignite Ødegaard's career. With renowned players surrounding him and the chance to compete in the UEFA Champions League, Bayern's allure is undeniable. Inter Milan. On the other hand, Inter Milan is also an enticing prospect. The club has a storied history and a passionate fan base that could provide the kind of atmosphere Ødegaard thrives in. Additionally, they have a growing project under Simone Inzaghi, aiming to recapture their domestic dominance and make an impact in Europe. A crossroads. For Martin Ødegaard, the coming months represent a critical juncture in his career.
The decision to stay or leave Arsenal will be affected by personal aspirations, club dynamics, and the ever-evolving landscape of football. As he navigates this period, fans, pundits, and clubs alike will be watching closely. Will he stay loyal to the club that gave him a chance to shine, or will the allure of new challenges prove too tempting to resist? The answers to these questions will not only shape Ødegaard's future, but also have significant implications for Arsenal, as they strive to build a team capable of competing at the highest levels of football. With the transfer window looming, the drama surrounding Martin Ødegaard is only just beginning. For now, all eyes will remain fixed on both the player and Arsenal as they navigate this critical moment. The fate of a playmaker who has been at the heart of Arsenal's resurgence hangs in the balance, as does the question of how far Arteta's vision can extend with or without his captain.
An engaging narrative about Martin Ødegaard's situation at Arsenal, exploring the implications of his potential departure and a deep dive into his journey, challenges, and the footballing landscape. A stellar rise. In the heart of North London, where Emirates Stadium looms large, Martin Ødegaard has etched his name into the annals of football history as a player whose talent is undeniable. From his formative years in Strom Scots, where he was recognized as a prodigy, to his pivotal role at Arsenal, Ødegaard's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. As captain of the Gunners, he has steered the ship through turbulent seas, a true embodiment of skill, leadership, and maturity far beyond his years. Coming through the ranks of Real Madrid, Ødegaard faced immense pressure. Expectations were sky-high for the young Norwegian, often seen as the next big thing. Yet his journey was marked by careful navigation through loan spells that shaped his understanding and adaptability as a player. His eventual move to Arsenal was seen not just as a loan, but as a defining moment, where he could truly flourish in a league renowned for its intensity, competition, and breathtaking football action. As Arsenal surged through the ranks of the Premier League, Ødegaard emerged not just as a talented midfielder, but as the linchpin of Mikel Arteta's tactical setup. His vision, passing, and ability to control the tempo of the game became instrumental in the team's dynamic play. With each match, he seemed to embody the very soul and spirit of Arsenal, inspiring both teammates and fans alike. Achievements and aspirations. Under Arteta's stewardship, the Gunners have undergone a renaissance, a resurgence that saw them challenging for the Premier League title, excelling in the Champions League, and making strides in domestic cup competitions. With Ødegaard leading on and off the pitch, fans began to dream again. The echoes of glory days began to resonate, mingling with chants in the stands that celebrated what seemed to be a hopeful return to footballing excellence. But as the season progressed, champions are not solely recognized by trophies, they are also measured by the ambition to aim higher, to push boundaries, and ultimately to seize opportunities that arise. For Ødegaard, though content and integral to the success at Arsenal, the allure of new challenges began to whisper sweet nothings in his ear. The conundrum of loyalty and ambition. As Arsenal climbed to the top of the Premier League table, a thought crossed Ødegaard's mind, a conflict between loyalty to the club that nurtured him and the insatiable hunger for new experiences. Reports surfaced detailing that top European clubs had taken notice of his development and were preparing to make lucrative bids. Clubs from Spain, Italy, and beyond began to circle, viewing Ødegaard as the missing piece in their puzzles. Arsenal supporters who adored Ødegaard's flair began to hear rumors of his potential departure. The duality of joy and anguish washed over them. How could a player so central to their current success contemplate leaving? Yet isn't every professional athlete's journey imbued with the quest for new horizons, for fresher challenges? Amid these swirling rumors, Arteta remained pragmatic. The young manager understood the fine balance between career aspirations and team dynamics. He had seen players leave clubs before, recognizing how ambition can propel an individual forward. The dilemma weighed heavily on both Ødegaard and Arteta as they navigated the intricate web of loyalty, expectation, and personal growth in a sport fraught with unpredictability. The landscape of football. In the ever-evolving landscape of football, the stakes are high and ambitions loom larger than life itself. The Premier League, the world's most competitive league, has transformed the careers of many. It offers not just financial rewards, but a global stage where players can cement their legacy. For Ødegaard, who at just 24 years old has already achieved so much, the question was not about comfort, but about the next chapter in his storied career.
European powerhouses such as Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich are always on the lookout for playmakers of Ødegaard's caliber, especially as they navigate transitions of their own. The folklore of such clubs pulsed through the veins of every young footballer, a siren's call that few can resist. For Ødegaard, the prospect of donning the colors of another prestigious club to forge a new legacy becomes increasingly appealing. The emotional tug of war. The emotional tug of war Ødegaard faced was palpable. On one hand, there was the intoxication of fresh beginnings, the thrill of new challenges in different leagues. On the other, the bond he forged with the Arsenal faithful, the history and tradition of a club that stood by him during formative years. Arsenal had become more than just a football club to Ødegaard. It had become his second home. The connection he shared with teammates like Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and David Raya was a testament to the strong familial ties within the squad. The laughter on the training ground, the shared joy after a well-fought match, these were the moments that knitted them together. Yet even amidst this camaraderie, whispers of what-ifs clouded his thoughts. Could he fulfill his ambitions and dreams at Arsenal, or would venturing elsewhere offer the excitement and challenges necessary for his personal growth? Players like Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah, who transformed their fortunes by moving clubs, flickered through Ødegaard's mind as case studies of how taking risks can pay off. Arteta's approach. Arteta, understanding Ødegaard's plight, approached the situation with grace. He recognized the player's need to explore, to seek different experiences. The manager who had played under the great Arsene Wenger understood the necessity for growth in a player's journey. He sought to foster an environment at Arsenal where every player could thrive, but also felt cherished. In conversations behind doors closed, Arteta expressed his desire to continue building around Ødegaard. He illustrated plans for the future, a vision that culminated with Arsenal not just participating in titles, but possibly winning them. His investment in the Norwegian was evident. Ødegaard was not merely a cog in the wheel, but a cornerstone upon which future successes would be built. The turning point. The turning point of Ødegaard's decision came during a pivotal match in the Champions League. An electrifying atmosphere enveloped the Emirates as fans rallied behind their team against a formidable opponent. As Ødegaard showcased his skills, orchestrating play, artfully navigating through defenses, and inspiring his teammates, it struck him. This feeling, this connection with the fans and club, was extraordinary. He recalled the sacrifices he made to reach this moment, the trials and tribulations faced during his career so far. It wasn't just about financial incentives or the glitz of playing for high-profile teams. It was about legacy. The legacy he wished to cement at Arsenal, a club that had offered him a platform and embraced him during his resurgence. The decision. As summer approached, Ødegaard found himself at a crossroads, contemplating his future, weighed down by various emotions. The whispers from the media intensified. Speculation ran wild. Would he stay or would he leave? The landscape of football grew increasingly uncertain, each passing day intensifying the pressure surrounding his decision. After deep introspection, Ødegaard made an announcement during a press conference, shedding light on his intentions. In an electrifying moment, he confirmed, "While I honor the interests and ambitions that other clubs have shown, my heart is with Arsenal. This is my club, and my journey is far from over. Together, we will pursue greatness." His words resonated with fans and like-minded players alike, sending ripples of excitement through the football community. The decision to stay would echo for years, a bold affirmation of belief in what Arsenal could become with their captain at the helm. New chapter. As the dust settled on his announcement, Martin Ødegaard prepared to embark on a new chapter. The atmosphere around the club was charged with anticipation and optimism. With renewed vigor, Ødegaard committed to training harder, pouring every ounce of his effort into each session. Under Arteta's guidance, Arsenal aimed to challenge for the title again, striving to make their mark in Europe once more. Fans rallied behind Ødegaard, securing their place as an integral part of Arsenal's journey. The story of Martin Ødegaard continued, his aspirations linked to the wealth of history at Arsenal, a legacy that spanned generations, vibrantly alive as they looked to the future. In a world where football offers fleeting moments of brilliance, Martin Ødegaard stands as a testament to the power of passion, loyalty, and ambition. As he navigates the complexities of a footballing career, his decision to stay at Arsenal ultimately embodies a commitment to carving a legacy not just for himself, but for the club and its supporters. This journey is far from over. Together they march forward, with dreams big as ever, and the spirit of the beautiful game lighting the way.